Paddy Pimblett isn't just preparing for war, he's already living inside it, and this isn't merely about training for Justin Gaethje. New, unsettling footage from camp captures a locked-in Paddy stripped of comfort, ice cold, body breaking through punishing sessions under relentless pressure that never seems to end. Now the real question stalks the moment. Will Gaethje's signature violence detonate instant chaos, or will his blistering speed and suffocating grappling slowly erase one of the sport's most dangerous strikers, forcing a brutal revelation that could permanently redefine Paddy's true standing?
Paddy, thank you for joining us. What is your mindset when you're going up to prepare against someone who you have so much respect for, so much admiration for, someone who's, you were saying at the press conference, is like a legend of the sport? What is it like knowing you're going in to face someone like Justin Gaethje?
Yeah, well, this is what you've always wanted to do. You've always wanted, coming up through your career, you want to fight these people that you've always looked up to, and it's sad to say that I think I'm going to retire them. You know what I mean? I'm preparing to beat them up in all facets of MMA, whether it's on the ground or whether it's on the feet. I'm preparing to beat them up. So, as I say, it's sad to say, but I'm more than likely going to retire him. I don't know if he'll fight again.
That unyielding hunger for destruction only hardens Paddy Pimblett's belief in how this ends, a certainty he claims is already burned into his mind. He insists he can see it unfolding before it happens, catching Justin Gaethje upright, vulnerable, and finishing him before the fight has time to breathe or settle into rhythm. In Paddy's version, there is no long war, no drawn-out chess match. Gaethje, he says, doesn't survive past the third round, with the prediction leaning toward an early stand-up knockout, a sudden collapse rather than a slow, grinding battle that drags into deep waters.
I think a lot of the fans understood why you weren't going to fight Paddy Pimblett in a non-championship setting, but now it is for a belt, and that is the fight that is in front of you. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, Paddy Pimblett, I mean, this guy's got a ton of momentum, you know, a ton of confidence, and those are two variables that are tough to beat. I'm going to have to really steal that momentum early and stay in my shell. You know, I know this kid's going to be trying to kill me, and I know he's going to make mistakes, so I have to be ready to take advantage of these mistakes and fight a perfect fight. At the highest level, it's who makes mistakes first, and I'm going to need to teach him that.
He hasn't lost in the UFC. He's the younger man. Those things can be factored into a betting line. Have you seen the odds for the fight?
Yeah, I love that I'm an underdog. I think I'm 8-2 or 8-3 as an underdog in the UFC. 2017, I fought the top 5 in the world every year, consistently, and I'm still here. If I wasn't as good as I am, then I wouldn't be here, and I still am here because I am one of the best in the world. It's just such a crazy sport.
Before we go any further, here's a quiet truth hiding in plain sight. Nearly everyone watching right now isn't subscribed, and that silence means missing what comes next, so lock it in before the moment slips past. Now, with no more delays, the story turns darker. Justin Gaethje isn't just focused on his next opponent, he's already looking beyond him, carrying brutal intentions and speaking openly about unleashing a rampage once gold wraps around his waist. In his mind, the path is already mapped, starting with Paddy, then Ilya, before circling back to unfinished business that still burns. Losses to Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira haven't faded, they linger, sharp and unresolved, and Justin makes it clear that simple redemption won't satisfy him as champion. He doesn't want closure, he wants confrontation, demanding one of those names stand across from him again, no matter the cost.
Paddy the Baddy plans to beat up Justin Gaethje. I'm sure that doesn't come as a surprise to you. Paddy the Baddy believes he can beat Justin Gaethje up on the feet. That might come as a surprise to you. Paddy the Baddy says that he's a weird fighter. He knows he's a weird fighter, and you can't bring anybody into training camp to mimic him, that he wrestles weird and he grapples weird. You think Paddy is going to take him down? Which, by the way, you're then counting on a lot of luck once he gets there, you know, or a lot of good success once he gets there, keeping him there, submitting him, passing to positions, pounding him out, whatever it is you think's going to happen. But it has to start with the takedown if you subscribe to that. And meanwhile, the argument would be if it stays on his feet that it would go to Gaethje. Is it that straightforward? I don't think so. And based on what we've seen, I could see where you could come to that conclusion. I'm just sharing, if you follow the sport as a whole, we don't really see that anymore. We don't really see a lot of this, you know, this guy's the better striker and this guy's the better grappler. That's very 1993 thinking. And We've dismissed Paddy for so long. I mean, I feel like we've dismissed him for 8 fights. Is he now 8-0 in the UFC? That's off the top of my head, but I think I'm right. Is he now 4 years in the UFC? That's off the top of my head, but I think I'm right. And yeah, he does favor grappling, but he used to favor grappling to submissions. Now he's favoring grappling to ground and pound. So the only thing that you really learn through that statement is that you don't really know what he's going to do. And he doesn't really do something until somebody shows a defense to what he prefers to do.
Beyond the fighter's own predictions, the voices of experts are closing in, and Den Thomas doesn't see much mystery here. He doesn't expect this fight to be especially close, despite acknowledging Paddy Pimblett's creativity, his comfort fighting off his back, and the clever way he manages distance when things get dangerous. Thomas believes those tools, sharp as they may be, won't survive the sheer violence Justin Gaethje brings into every exchange. In his view, Gaethje doesn't just fight harder, he operates on an entirely different intensity, a dear few can reach once the chaos starts. And even if this moment represents Paddy's clearest path toward a title shot, Thomas expects the gap to become impossible to ignore once the door locks, the crowd fades, and they're sealed together inside the cage.
Is that going to help him in this fight?
Brother, Paddy Pimblett cannot help him.
Why not? You're not impressed with Paddy?
Paddy Pimblett doesn't have nothing. What do you have?
Cha Sonnen, however, paints the matchup as a far more dangerous puzzle, a collision of styles where every choice carries consequences. He explains that backing Paddy means betting everything on dragging the fight to the ground, then actually holding control, advancing position, and finding a finish against an opponent who is lethal even when trapped. At the same time, Sonnen warns that Justin's relentless pressure and raw striking power turn every second on the feet into a ticking threat. In his eyes, this isn't a clean formula where takedowns belong to Paddy and striking belongs to Justin, because between those moments lives chaos, momentum swings, and split-second mistakes that could decide everything.
A lot of times, his opponents are expecting a war. They're expecting a brawl because of who's standing across from them. Is that something you're trying to avoid? Is that something you're embracing?
I'm embracing. I want a war. I've never had a war. I've never had a proper war where we're both cut and bloodied up. I'd love a fight like Adesanya Gastelum. I'd love a fight like that. But I don't think Justin Gaethje is the man to give me it. I just don't think. I love biting down on my gum shield and swinging punches. You never know, I might end up doing that to him. But I just can't see him getting past the 3rd round. The only way he beats me is a big overhand right or a big left hook. I genuinely can't. I don't see anywhere he's better than me, even on the feet. I know he's an amazing striker, but so am I. So I just don't see anywhere he beats me.
Sonnen emphatically insists that the outdated idea of one fighter being only a striker and the other only a grappler no longer survives at this level. Paddy Pimblett has quietly assembled an impressive UFC run, constantly reshaping himself in ways that aren't immediately obvious. He's shifted from hunting submissions at all costs to leaning into ground and pound damage, deliberately keeping opponents uncertain about what's coming next. Sonnen argues the real truth is this: Paddy doesn't fully show his hand until someone forces it out of him. That delayed reveal, that refusal to be predictable, is exactly what turns him into a legitimate and unsettling threat.
Tell me officially, what's the prediction? How do you get your hand raised? How do you earn that title?
It's the same as Chandler. He doesn't get past the 3rd. I don't see him getting out the 3rd round, but I can see myself finishing before that. I keep having visions and knocking him out on the feet. To be honest, I keep having mad crazy visions and knocking him out on the feet, but wherever the fight goes, TKO or submission by round 3.
Yeah, because once I get this belt, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to beat Ilya. I'm going to beat Paddy. I'm going to beat Ilya. And then I got to get Max back. Have to. So I need him to win. I need him to beat Charles.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. They both beat me, so I want either one of those back. Yeah. Those are the only 2 guys that I have the opportunity to get back right now. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Usman doubles down on his skepticism, refusing to soften his stance as he points out that even some of Paddy's recent wins come with asterisks attached. He zeroes in on the Jared Gordon fight, arguing that, in his view, Paddy technically lost that bout regardless of what the judges wrote down that night. From Usman's perspective, the record doesn't tell the full story, and the resume still lacks true tests at the highest level. He believes Paddy has yet to stand across from genuinely elite competition, insisting that names like Ilia Topuria or Justin represent the kind of danger that actually proves championship worthiness. Until Paddy survives the caliber of opposition, Usman remains unconvinced, firmly stating that a title shot isn't earned yet, only postponed by unanswered questions.
When you break this fight down, how close do you think it actually is?
I personally don't think it's going to be that close at all. I mean, Paddy Pimblett's crafty. He's a crafty fighter. He's got a very strong skill set. He's not afraid to fight off of his back. He doesn't wrestle all that well, but he uses his length well in terms of his kicks. But I just think the amount of violence that Justin Gaethje brings to the fight is going to be too much for Paddy. I mean, we saw what Paddy did against Jared Gordon, and a lot of people think he lost that fight. And Justin Gaethje is not Jared Gordon. You know what I'm saying? Now, Paddy looked great against Bobby Green. That was a really quick fight. He looked great against Michael Chandler, but Michael Chandler was on a decline. I just think that Paddy, this is his best chance. We talked about Gaethje. This is also Paddy's best chance of winning a title, because I don't think he would have fared well against Ilia or Sarukian either, but this is his best chance of winning a title, and I don't even really see it being all.
Dan Hardy, however, breaks the fight down as a tense battle between patience and chaos, where timing may matter more than raw violence. He believes Justin Gaethje thrives if he calmly cuts off the cage, waits, and forces Paddy into moments where overcommitment becomes costly. Even with Gaethje's undeniable power, Hardy points to Paddy's evolution, noting that while he's grown slightly more predictable, he remains awkward, deceptive, and vulnerable to sharp early knees and well-timed counters. Hardy imagines Gaethje beginning carefully, landing a meaningful strike or knocking Paddy off balance to seize control, yet he also acknowledges Paddy's durability could allow him to claw his way back into relevance mid-fight. He stresses how far Paddy Pimblett has come, framing this matchup as a proving ground where Paddy can earn real respect by surviving pressure and chaos. The reckless cage warrior's prospect is gone, replaced by a polished professional forged by his next-gen team. Momentum, Hardy says, will be everything, but he warns that if Gaethje traps Paddy against the fence and fractures his rhythm, even this evolved version could find himself in deep, dangerous trouble.
With who he fight for the title? Like before, like he beat who? He beat give me any names. Michael Chandler?
Michael Chandler, that's the biggest name, sure.
Everybody beat Michael Chandler, brother. He doesn't win, bro. He was in UFC and he win only one fight against Tony Ferguson, who had 45 years.
He won his debut too. I can't remember off the top of my head who that was again. Oh, Dan Hooker.
He almost who?
He knocked out Dan Hooker. Remember?
Brother, Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker. Everybody beat these guys.
So not impressed. I like the honesty.
No. I'm honest. Like when we look at the best fight with the best, these guys, they're not elite. If you wanna see who's elite, it's Charles Oliveira. He's elite guy. It's Arman Tsarukyan.
KBY Covington, however, refuses to accept the idea that this fight is already decided in Paddy Pimblett's favor, pushing back hard against the growing certainty. He reminds everyone that Justin Gaethje is a veteran of endless wars, a fighter who has absorbed and survived chaos, even carrying the lingering damage of brutal knockouts like the one delivered by Max Holloway. Despite the hype machine painting Paddy as the inevitable favorite, KBY emphasizes that Gaethje remains relentless, stubborn, and unwilling to back down under any circumstance. He warns that a loss here wouldn't just sting, it could reshape careers. In his view, Paddy would need to fully control the wrestling, force the fight to the ground, and blend his striking with precision just to survive, let alone win, making the outcome anything but guaranteed. KBY also questions the wave of promotion surrounding the matchup, suggesting Justin may be sliding past his prime while Paddy is being elevated as the sport's next centerpiece. With Gaethje's gas tank possibly fading and Paddy still proving whether he truly belongs among the elite, Colby admits he finds the situation nearly impossible to predict. In the end, he says, only the fight itself will expose the truth.
That guy, and who there is it? Gaethje, the elite guy. Ilia Topuria, yes, is an elite fighter. You know, like somebody like that, you know, like not Paddy who fight with he have one fight, and I think he lose this fight with a guy. I don't remember his name, but I see him. I was training with him here in Dubai. Yes, Gordon. He lose this fight. Gordon beat him.
Jared Gordon.
Yeah, Jared Gordon. He beat him us, but the judges give him fight like one.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you can check this fight if you want. No, I'm not like somebody who against Paddy. No, I don't know him. You know, like I'm just looking like fan of the martial arts. My opinion, he doesn't deserve title shots. My opinion.
Now it's your move. What do you make of Paddy's message and the way Gaethje fired back? Is it confidence, delusion, or something more dangerous waiting to surface? Drop your take in the comments and let it play out. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next, because this story is far from finished. I'll see you in the next video.